Hello everyone and welcome back to round 9 of the F223 Ollie Bearman career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for our home GP from Silverstone. Of course, if you missed out on the videos that went live last weekend from the Austrian Grand Prix, I would highly recommend going back and checking them out. But yeah, 18 points back in the championship. I believe it is still Brad Benavidez who is leading the way, but we're hanging on in there. We're having quite a good campaign so far. I'm really hoping, though, Silverstone this weekend is where we can try and up the ante. Will we finally be able to lead the World Championship? We certainly can't do it in today's episode, but I'm hoping we can qualify towards the front of the grid. Make sure you get yourself subscribed if you're new around here, and let's do this thing. Well, if ever there was a venue where we wanted to try and get a good qualifying run, surely it is going to be here at Silverstone. You know, I've said so many times this season how important getting a good run in qualifying is going to be. And yeah, the last couple of weekends we haven't made it inside that top 10. We've done pretty good in terms of damage limitation when we move into the GPs. But yeah, we'd really like to try and get ourselves back inside that top 10 and making it a regular thing in the second half of the campaign. Only 5 weekends to go of the season, including this one, so we haven't got long if we want to try and close up to Brad Benavidez in the championship. So let's try and start with a good run here in Friday qualifying. Definitely feel Silverstone is a track that accentuates the nuances, the different driving techniques you need between Formula 1 and Formula 2 there. I'm going to try and remember quite a few of them so far on this lap. So we just run a tiny bit wide as we make our way through the old turn 1. There we are, through Maggots and Beckett's then. We're a little way behind our teammate Fred Vesti. I'd like to see him try and lock down a pole position here, if of course we can't get it. Making our way out of the final chicane there. We've been really brave through the final sector, but it's not enough. Fred Vesti's going to be on pole. Oh, we're 11th, I think, on the grid. We just missed out on a top 10 at the line. That really hurts. Well, there we go then. 7 1,000ths of a second was the difference between myself and Jack doing there. And that is the difference between us potentially starting this weekend from pole position. However, championship leader Brad Benavidez, nightmare. P22, he's probably not going to score points this weekend, looking at the weather. So we have got a huge opportunity to try and take some points out of him. The same can be said for Amory Cordial, but he's not inside the top 10 either. Amory Cordial down in P18. There is a golden opportunity here to try and score some big points.
And hello to everyone joining us here in Silverstone this weekend as the drivers make their final preparations for today's race. The grid is forming up and we're getting ready for what promises to be a real spectacle. 5 miles out from Tosa, this icon of British motorsport heritage comprises 18 corners over 3.6 miles of circuit. Silverstone has been through several changes over its lifetime, with the start line now leading into Abbey, a fast right-hander for turn 1. But still there, of course, is the circuit's most famous and iconic sequence of corners, starting at Maggots, turn 10. Joining Joining me today in the commentary box is 2012 GP2 champion Davide Valsecchi. We all know the circuit so well, Davide. What's got your attention today?
Always a pleasure, Alex. Everyone looks forward to Silverstone, and which is such an intriguing grid. I think the fans will be excited for the start of today's race. We know these young drivers are hungry to prove themselves. Hopefully, we'll be seeing some more history being made today.
Well, here we are then, trackside for the British Grand Prix, and looks like we've only got the hards or the soft tyres this weekend, so maybe, just maybe, those hard tyres can go quite nicely, and we'll have a little bit of grip on them ready for the main event tomorrow. But yeah, 11 laps ahead of us here from Silverstone. We've got our teammate Fred Vesti alongside, 5 red lights. And it's going to be lights out, and away we go there, and it looks like we've actually done very, very well on the reaction times. They're straight past my teammate down in towards turn 1. A lot of Constantine run up by a few cars in front of us. So not only will we gain 1, we'll gain 2 and maybe even 3 places by the time we've made it in towards the loop there. Thought about a move down the inside of Victor Martins, but we won't quite be able to pull that one off. As Teo Porcher there, just a little bit in front. But of course, we can afford to take big risk in the sprint race today. It's not like we're going to be down the order as we move into the feature race. There is a little bit of understeer as we head out onto the Wellington Straight first time around there. And yeah, we are up 3 spots then. Looks like my teammate Fred Vesti has also made some moves as they're 2x2 a little bit further up the road. Jan Ruvala again trying to look for an opportunity, but Kushmaini now to the lead of the race there, disposing Jack Doohan at the top of the table. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see how Campos can get on with at least one of their cars this weekend. Wout Boschong, yeah, really not setting the world alight so far this season, as we just run a little bit wide through the old turn 1, a little bit of a save, and now we're going to be in an MP Motorsport sandwich as we head up into Maggots and Beckett's. Cold tyres still desperate to try and get some heat in them. But yeah, of course, you know, for us now, it's a big chance. There's a really big chance to take out some good points from my rivals there. Even I don't believe Enzo Fittipaldi is high up the order either, if I remember our qualifying results correctly. So yeah, all 3 of our rivals down the order. So this is a real chance to make some big gains overall. You know, only 3/10 off in qualifying definitely showcases that we have got the pace today to be in that fight there. But at the final corner, Kushmaini leads at the end of lap 1, and we're still slipping and sliding. It's Dennis Hauger, I just thought about it. I could see him there in the rearview mirror. Thought about a move down at turn 1. Oh, yellow's out. Someone's got issues. Who's now going to be given a lifeline ready for the GP tomorrow? I think that's Dennis Hauger. Dennis Hauger potentially out of the GP then. And yeah, looks like clearly sat in my wheel tracks. Oh no, he's just span. Dennis Hauger continuing going there. So that's a very, very odd place to spin out. Must have dropped it on the curb and on the exit, Marcus Ericsson style, I believe it was all those years ago. But yeah, luckily, no retirement. That being said, though, of course, if this was a real Formula 2 race, yeah, you're probably better off retiring Dennis Hauger. I don't think it will get patched, unfortunately. But yeah, I really wish Coders and EA had sorted out this tyre glitch. I'll tell you what, at the moment, we have not got anything to match the AI in this race. Jan Ruvala just pulling out a little bit of time each and every lap. And we have got a big, big train forming behind me. Don't really know, we just seem to be losing time just a little bit everywhere. The old turn 1 is certainly one of the biggest culprits for that. The AI can just reliably hit the apex, where I quite clearly can't. And this is a big problem at the moment, unless we've got a safety car or something like that. We're right out, just outside the points here, and it might well elude me. Oh, speaking of which, I think Fred Vesti's gone. Fred Vesti, that might bring out a safety car in this GP. I believe our teammate is out then, so he's got a lifeline tomorrow. And we move into the feature race, but could that be a safety car? Doesn't look like it. I think we've still only had 1 safety car this season. Might have been 2. Remember we had 1 back at Jeddah, but I don't think we've had another one.
Okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form.
And well, just like Dennis Hauger then, it looks like our teammate hasn't actually retired. Did he just get a spontaneous puncture? Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm getting a little bit worried that we are seeing the return of the Albert Park glitch. Really, really odd. For those of you that watch those races, you might remember in the sprint race there, AI in front of me were a good 4 to 5 tenths a lap faster. AI behind me still couldn't match me. So it's a really, really weird, whoa, little glitch there, as that's a huge slide to start lap 6, putting on a show for the fans, I guess. But yes, a really weird bug that we've seen a couple of times this year, where, like, the AI in front are way quicker than the AI behind you for seemingly no reason. Well, less than 5 laps to go then here at Silverstone, and I think, to be honest, we're just basically waiting to see if one of the cars in front has a mechanical issue. Fred Vesti has taken new fast lap of the day, but at the moment, yeah, we are just focused on our mirrors and praying something happens to a car in front. Otherwise, once again, we're going to be agonisingly close to points. Oh, here comes Enzo Fittipaldi down the inside. So make our way down the end of the Wellington straight there. We'll make sure we give him some room, but try and hook it up. And then run ourselves very, very deep into the next corner. They're just waiting for an opportunity. Arthur Leclerc now up into P10. I believe he's still yet to score a point this season. One of about 3 drivers still yet to. So we got yellows out. Someone's got issues. It's a car behind, though. I believe that's Roman Stanek. He might be dropping to the wayside here. So a really late safety car I'd still take, but I don't think it's going to happen. Stanek out of the sprint race here, and he might have a golden opportunity in the main event. However, for us, though, the pressure is not being off yet. Fittipaldi again to the outside. DRS certainly doesn't seem very powerful here. And we will just cover off into the corner and get a nice big drift in the process, which might open the door for Fittipaldi once again. No, he'll sit back for now. Oh, here we go, Fittipaldi again. Down the inside this time around, a little bit more aggressive with it. We'll try and slingshot fully alongside me. Surely we can't allow him to go the long way around as we make our way through this middle sector there. But look at that, Fittipaldi's found the speed. Where has he got that kind of straight line speed from? Off the corner, and completely powerless to Enzo Fittipaldi there as we make our way through the old turn 1 again. They're running a little bit wide on the exit as we try to keep the foot in, but we've got to try and stay close here. We cannot allow the Brazilian to run away. Our only championship runner that looks to be matching us at the very least this weekend as we run a little bit wide out onto the hangar straight. But this will be a good test to see whether we're running a lot less downforce than the AI. Look at the straight line speed. I think we might be. Zor Fittipaldi there, a little bit of a dart in the braking zone at the last moment. We have to roll the car to the inside. He's going to try and squeeze me out on the exit the corner here. This is brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing with the Brazilian as we just try and hang on to it. Around the outside, we'll look, try and make sure he gives me the room again. Oh, as he just there tries to adopt the racing line, but can't quite make it happen. Surely, yeah, no way you're going to be able to go too wide through turn 1. But we often get a really nice run through turn 2 there. And look at that, we'll slingshot back to the inside of him. Not going to go down without a fight here, as Enzo Fittipaldi still on my inside there. Ready for turn 4. And we hook it up. Come on, we need to get the power down. I think we've got the DRS though, luckily. So he just runs a little bit wide there. We have to come out the throttle slightly. But I think, yeah, Fittipaldi knows he forces wide and backed out of it. It's a great late race battle. Oh, here we go, Fittipaldi again. One more lap to go. He's not giving up on it. And just anticipating he'd be a bit more confident, we run ourselves slightly wide through the corner. So our warning light has come on as Kush Miney had a bit of a battle with Jack Doohan today. But he's still in the lead as we start the final lap then here from Silverstone. But are we going to have another great scrap with Enzo before this race is down and out there? It's been brilliant fun. This is what Formula 2 is meant to be all about there, side by side throughout the better part of a lap between myself and one of our big championship rivals. But yeah, pace has been a little bit of a mystery in this sprint race there. Really did feel confident coming into this track, but we'll have to wait and see as to whether we can find our mojo tomorrow as we make our way out onto that back straight once again there. I think this time around we're going to have to try and go defensive from him. Don't want to leave anything to chance as Enzo Fittipaldi will try and go the long way, but I think appreciates there is no grip out there. So Just got to try and cover him off through a couple of these big traction zones, and you can see how much we're wobbling around. It's the front tyres that take the beating around this venue. Those rears aren't actually in particularly bad shape there. As here comes Fittipaldi again, thinks about a move down the inside at the old turn 1 there as we run horribly wide on the exit. The AI, reliably all day long, have been able to get better drive off that corner than I've ever been able to achieve there. But just parking the bus where we can. It's honestly felt like driving a bus around this Silverstone circuit today. But in towards the final few corners, I believe it's going to be Kushmaini that is going to take the victory. We're desperate to try and break the slipstream from Enzo Fittipaldi there. To the outside goes the Brazilian once again in his Rodin Carlin car. We will hang on through the corner, but will he now look for a window down the inside in towards the final chicane? Oh, he thinks about it, but unable to pull anything off there. And in the end, we are just going to miss out on points. It's P9, but boy oh boy did we put on a show.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So another fantastic victory for Campos today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
I think this race was won thanks to the tire management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can. It's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
I can see them on their way out to the podium now. Campos have come a really long way in this sport, and what a special race this was to see them earn the top spot. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
I'd probably go for Kushmaini. The team did a good job with the strategy to put him in the pack, and he was good enough to take the opportunities.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, Carlin moved up the table with another strong performance this weekend. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, there we are then, the end of the F2 sprint race here from Silverstone, and agonisingly close, but not enough to pick up some points there. It was Kushmaini who took the win just ahead of Jack Doohan, with Clement Novalak again returning to the podium. Vashaw, Maloney, Porcher, Martins and Jan Aruvula will score the points today, and that means in the championship, well, it's very, very lucky for our top two there. Both Enzo Fittipaldi and I very close to the points in the end. But looking up and down the order, Clement Novalak's got a big opportunity. Jan Aruvala's got a big opportunity. Fred Vesti surely has got a massive opportunity tomorrow. Only him and Roman Stanek didn't obviously get to the end on the single set of tyres, so they are going to have a big, big advantage there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back tomorrow when Formula 2 returns ready for the feature race. You guys do not want to miss that. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise, and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.